Champs up, shooting shots, they just want me to fade. But my game made when I'm getting buckets today. Crossover, pull up, bet you fall for the hezzy. Game 7, prime time is butterflies on your belly. Now can you do it? Folding under the pressure, boy, can you do it? Is you going, show 'em who better? Don't let the game slip and don't get caught in the lights. Crown me, yeah, Jordan taking off on the
Baby,
flight.
give me all the rings right now, we the champions. We the champions. I do my thing right now and it can't be done. They said it can't be done. Give me all the rings right now, we the champions. We the champions. I do my thing right now and it can't be done. They said it can't be done.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. And welcome to another installment of Open Gym, the Morning Hustle here on Philly Sports Network, brought to you by Metro Philly Open Gym Network. To all together, man. I appreciate you guys being here today. It's your boy AB back again on a great Monday morning. Sports wise, probably not so great, but overall, I feel good. I'm alive. I'm here. Here with you guys doing this show. Like I said, I appreciate you guys stepping in the gym with me today. Again, please like, comment, share, subscribe as we grow. You know, more and more content, more and more things we're going to do for you guys, entertainment-wise, guest-wise, everything, man. I appreciate you guys being here as always. Again, man, it's Open Gym Network. And before we start, we already know we had a busy weekend. We had the 76ers. We had the Philadelphia Eagles play this past weekend. This past weekend. But before we even get to that, I do want to acknowledge this at the moment because word just got handed down. We all know that a lot of the rest of the NBA media day has began today, and especially our 76ers. We will get to that later on today in the stream. We'll get to that later on in the stream, but also like I said, we might have someone down there, hop on with us, let us know what's going on down there. But the big news out of Sixers media day today is, if you haven't heard already, it's sad to announce that NBA, known favorite, legend, defensive guy we all know and love, and he definitely was a 76ers. Daryl Morey announced today that the passing of Sixers legend, Sixers center, defensive player of the year, Dikembe Mutombo, has passed away. At the age of 58, I believe it was. They said he started off his press conference where I do have a quote here down at the media day here by Lauren Rosen, who's down there. Read this to you. And an emotional Daryl Morey reflects on Dikembe Mutombo's passing at Sixers media day. I knew him personally. We were together for many seasons, and he obviously important to the Sixers franchise as well. There aren't many guys like him, just a great human being. When I was a rookie GM in the league, my first chance in Houston, he was someone I went to all the time. I'm sorry. Obviously, his accomplishments on the court, but an amazing human being, what he did off the court for Africa. Rest in peace, Dikembe. So that was Lauren Rosen quoting Daryl Morey today, starting off his press conference today, letting everyone know the tragic news of Dikembe Mutombo, Sixers center. At one point, the year 2003, the championship run with Allen Iverson, Eric Snow, Aaron McKee, guys like that, against the Lakers, has passed away at the age of 58, and I believe it was due to brain cancer. That was shocking. That was definitely, especially as a fan of the Sixers team and how in love we were when it came to that Sixers team specifically. We all know and love that Sixers team. I'm sorry, just trying to keep up with them down at the Sixers media day. But yes, so we all know and love Dikembe Mutombo that year. That was the a great time back in 2003 when we ran excuse me, when we uh ran to the 2003 championship. I'm just sitting here memorizing, like, it was a great run. Went through some tough teams. AI was just amazing that year. I believe our whole team won almost every um end of the year season award. Like I said, AI MVP, Aaron McKee, I believe, won 6 Man of the Year that year. Dikembe Mutombo, like I said, won Defensive Player of the Year that year. So it definitely was a special time and a special year that year. And to hear his passing is definitely shocking, definitely out of the blue in a sense. Definitely wasn't expecting that as well. Like I said, 58, not old at all. 58 is not old at all. So 58 is not old at all. Even like I said, he was dealing with, I believe it's a brain cancer, but I mean, that's unfortunate and it definitely sucks. It's definitely not nothing that I wish anything on anyone, especially a man of his stature and position, rather, I should say, because like I said, even in that quote, he's done a lot, not only for the sport itself, being a defensive player, but also for Africa, making the game broad and horizon. Who knows, we might not have a guy like Joel Embiid here right now with the 76ers on his team if it wasn't, for some of his efforts that he some of his efforts that he put forth, with making the brand more broad, making the brand more across the world, touching different continents, different countries, and it's just him specifically, Africa, getting the game involved within that country more and more. Now we see more and more guys like Joel Embiid, like Pascal Siakam, Precious Achua, things of that nature like that. The big story of the Olympics this year was it Cameroon or someone of that effect that was in there. That was the big story, but it's definitely sad. It's definitely something I was not expecting the first day of media day to start off with. Obviously, going into the season, Joel Embiid, not Ben Simmons, Paul George, X, Y, and Z, all those things. But yeah, man, sad. Rest in peace to Dikembe Mutombo, and condolences to his family, loved ones, children, wife, everything, man. That country, everything. So it's definitely hard, especially as being a Sixers fan as well, hearing about news like that as well. So rest in peace to Dikembe Mutombo, and condolences, fan. That's crazy. I ain't gonna lie. I'm a little bit thrown back because if you was around during that time, it was a special time. Like, for us to even make it to the championship that year, for us to even win a game in that championship that year, and the run we went on, during that playoff run to get to that championship against the Lakers. I know it was hard for Dikembe because he was a little older at that time as well, and Shaq was in his prime, so there's not much he can do. But overall, decent guy. Met him a couple times. I guess quick story. So my mom works for Chop or whatever like that, and she used to come home stories all the time. I was used to go to her job a lot at times. A lot of the Sixers players during that time went to the particular office that she worked at. Chop is Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. For those not from Philadelphia who knows it is, but used to come to his office a lot. So, and he was one of her favorites when he came in. Hey, missing, greeting her and everything like that. She used to come home. He used to give her things, bring home to us, sign memorabilia, maybe a T-shirt or something like that. So it was a lot of things that, he personally, meeting him a couple times there as well, him personally impacting, my family at the time without even really knowing. Like I said, it wasn't much, but, being a teenager at that time, and like I said, being a basketball fanatic and fan, and let alone a Sixers fan as well. You know, mom being able to have that connection and meeting them, you know, here and there from time to time, being at the office, or her coming home with, you know, different items and different things signed by Dikembe. So definitely hard to hear, and definitely was something that was a little bit shocking to start off the Sixers media day with. But, you know, rest in peace to Dikembe Mutombo. Condolences to you, to your family, wife, children, all those things, man. And dang, it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. All right. Now we got that out the way. Not out the way, like it don't matter, but let's move on. We got a show to do. We're gonna have some fun tonight, and appreciate you guys being here. Like, comment, subscribe, all those things, and we're gonna move forward within this. But we on, and we're going to the topics of this stream. Starting it off, we always know after a Sunday, it's a morning chaos. We go through the morning hustle with all the brain exercises. Could this go better? Could we have done this? Could we have done this better? Why isn't he playing this way? We all know what it's time for. It's time for the morning hustle here at Open Gym, brought to you by Philly Sports Network, Metro Philadelphia. And we're going to start it off right where we left off last week. The Philadelphia Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles this weekend, 1 p.m. down in Tampa, Florida, played against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Tamps, I'm crying. The Tampa played against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this weekend. 16-33. Yep, you heard it right. 16-33. We can't crack 20 points. And before I even continue on, continue with, you know, this conversation, breaking it down, who's been good, who hasn't been good, who needs to get better, what the team needs to do. I want to preface all this by saying at the start of this that I already know, before the comments start flowing in, before all the things start happening, and people are saying, if I already know this game, we went into it without Lane Johnson, without Devontae Smith, and A.J. Brown. This is everything I'm going to explain, everything I'm going to talk about is all inclusive to all that being pushed aside and understanding that that's a factor. Because everything I'm going to speak about, I know things will be better. I know things can be better once players are back. But what transpired on Sunday, I believe is very troublesome and something I've been talking about for a very, long time for the most part, where it's like, things have to start. So let's start with it. Eagles 16, Buccaneers 33. Before we even get to the main topic of offense and Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni, we just going to start off with this defense, man. We're going to start right there. Before I even get into it, I got something here. I love Baldy. I love following him. If you don't follow Baldy on any social media, make sure you follow Baldy. He does a breakdown of every game each week. So here's a breakdown of Baker Mayfield against the Eagles defense this past Sunday.
How about a six-pack of throws from Baker Mayfield? Every kind of variety right here. Right over the middle linebackers' heads, outstretched arms, into Trey Palmer right there with Slade draped all over him. Perfect throw, 15 yards, second touchdown of the day. Now you get this right here. Arms. Baker versus the blitz. Here comes Zach Bond, the Eagles' leading tackler. He's coming off the edge. Mike Evans sees it. More importantly, Baker sees it, and they just get him on a stick, and then Evans makes a missed tackle right here and goes for a first down. Okay, beat the blitz. Then you see this right here. All right, here comes a blitz right now. And right here, Baker is going to beat Nolan Smith to Godwin with another perfect throw over an outstretched arm of the defender, Nolan Smith. And then on 3rd and 11, right here, he's going to climb the pocket, escape the pocket, eyes down the field right here, and find Godwin. Perfect throw on the move. And then you get the design rollout here. Like you watch Kate Otten right here. He's going to seal a Jomo right now, and Baker's going to get outside. And he's got all this real estate, all this green. He's looking right. Oh, here comes Mike Evans on the backside, and he flips it to him. Every kind Baker had for almost 350 yards. And then right here, a little pump and go, a little shoulder pump. Been doing that since he was a high school kid in Austin, Texas, and he finds Sterling Shepard. Against great coverage from Quinyon Mitchell, put it right up there on a tee. Baker, some T-ball on Sunday against the Eagles. A majestic performance from Baker and a bounce-back game after that loss to Denver last week.
I'm not sure what's... All right, the defense. Eagles lose 16-33. We're going to read the defense still struggling. It's I know they had a decent game against the Saints. It definitely was formidable. It definitely was a formidable situation. Definitely a good effort on their part. Came out with some intensity. Was hitting them, smacking them around. They came out great. So it was a lot of glowing things to say in that Saints game, but everyone left that. I don't believe no one left that situation not saying, hey, we still need to get better at this, or this needs to continue to happen. We need to see this continue for us to, truly, get on board, really believe, trust the fact that certain players are doing this or doing that, but it didn't continue. The same old issues transpired with this defense. No defensive pressure. Although they played well the first couple games, a little like linebacking play outside of Zach Bond, and he still was a tackling machine at times, but the same old things. No defensive pressure, can't tackle, people out of position, people just getting straight up beat. It was a lot. I can't even, when you watch that game, and I had the privilege of sitting down, and I usually watch the game over anyway after I watch it the first time live. But this particular situation, I missed the first half, live. I was able to, tap into the second half once I was able to get to, a TV, look at it, whatever like that. But after that, I seen the second half, all the second half, but I had to go back and watch the first half, see, because, Twitter and different things were saying a lot of different things that were, you want to see for yourself and diagnose and analyze these things for yourself. So go back, I watched the game, I'm looking at different things, and it was just a poor effort all around. Oh, I'm not going to say effort. No, because, yes, poor effort, because tackling is an effort thing. And some of the tackles that I've seen, let me show you this one particular tackle for sure. I want to show you this, but this is basically the precipice of what happened basically throughout the whole day, essentially like that. This is Avonte Maddox, one-on-one tackle, open field against Chris Godwin, who's a very good receiver. Not going to discount the fact that he's a good receiver, but these plays happening once or twice here and there, yes, but this was the whole day. So this is basically precipice of what the the Eagles were doing. That was all day. That was all day. Like the angle, the everything about this was just bad. The angle, the pursuit, head down, not looking at your target, not following through, not driving through, like stuff like that. You just can't happen. And that was all day. That was all the Nakobe Dean. You seen it in the Baldy tape. I love him. Great dude, but certain positions, I believe, measurables matter. And I'm not the tallest guy, biggest guy, Paul's either. But in certain positions, I believe, me personally, let me say this, because I can be wrong. I'm not saying I'm a scout, GM, and none of those things. I can be wrong. But I believe certain positions, I want a certain measurable there, Kobe Dean, nice player, smart player, but as you can see, outreached of us on short arms. It was a play he had. He, like I said, the mental game is there. He recognized the screen, drove down on the screen, totally just missed the tackle. It's just stuff like that. Just can't continue to transpire with this team. The lack of blitzing at times, having the DBs play 10 to 12 yards off of the ball, where you just seen even in the ball D recap, let's go through it, because this is basically, I love this video, because we just gonna play it again, because I love this video because it literally tells you and shows you exactly what this game was about just in these 6 plays, because this was literally all day when it came to the deal. Let's pull this up again.
6-pack of throws from
6 packs of plays. Here we go.
Every kind of variety right here. Right over the middle linebackers' heads, outstretched arms.
Look at that. Look at that. This is where I say at times measurables matter. Again, he's in the position. He sees the play. He's right there to be able to make a play to tip the ball. But look, short arms. Or just not tall enough or athletic. I know it's not as easy as it is on the video, as far as turning your body, contorting your body. But I can literally, and granted he's not him, but I can literally show you a play by Fred Warner in 49. I feel like I bring him up every day, but he's just like that, a linebacker that I really like. A throw across the middle, and he jumped 10 feet in the air to grab the interception and was able to get up and run it back. So right there, perfect position, but measurables matter. A linebacker that's too short arms. These are the things, or the decisions that were made by this defensive staff and Howie Roseman that shouldn't be. I mean, by the linebacker play that we seen that yesterday, you had Devin White again inactive. So you mean he can't do any better than this? I'm not saying whatever issues going on with Devin White and the Eagles, it is what it is at this point, because I believe at this point it looked like it's trended towards either a release or a trade. But you can't tell me he can't get no playing time whatsoever just because he doesn't play special team, but you'd rather have Nakobe Dean out there. And I gave him his fair shake. He had a good 2 weeks prior to this game. But these are the same things that came up the previous year prior to him getting injured and are always going to be there. You can't teach measurables. You cannot teach measurables. You've seen times, even in this game against the Bucs, you've seen times Zach Bond knock down passes because he was just tall enough to be able to jump and knock down passes that were going across the middle. You got stuff like this that's happening. Let's continue on with what's going on with this defense.
Into Trey Palmer right there with Slade.
And that's just, like I said, a great catch by Trey Palmer and Slade. Just, he made a great play on it. He just was late on the breakup.
All over him. Perfect throw, 15 yards, second touchdown of the day. Now you get this right here.
So here we go. This is the things that I was speaking about when it comes to tackling. That it was a. We'll read. I'll get into it.
Baker versus the blitz. Here comes Zach Bond.
So this one's about Zach Bond. He's about the blitz right here, and he's over top of Mike Evans right now. But obviously Mike Evans will come free.
The Eagles' leading tackler. He's coming off the edge. Mike Evans sees it. More importantly, Baker sees it, and they just get him on a
So we're going to stop it right here. So the initial aspect of it, I'm not mad at it. You sent pressure. It forced him to get rid of it. Quarterback, wide receiver did a good job getting rid of the ball, cut his route off short, for you to be able to be able to, get the ball off and you be able to still react to it and make the cover. But this is the issue that lied when it came to this Eagles team and when it comes to playing against the Bucs. Great play, great recognition of the blitz, got the ball out their hands. We talking about from the line of scrimmage, that's about a 4, maybe 5 yard catch that we have right here. But let's run the rest of this play and see how we come up attacking. This is Reed Blanket shit.
And then Evans makes
That's terrible. That is absolutely a poor effort at tackling. And then you out there looking foolish now because now you spinning like you out there breakdancing on your belly. Look at this. Look at this. Why are you spinning? Why are you spinning on the ground like that? Like, there's no way you should have did a 360 turtle spin shell on your belly like that. That's poor. There's no way
just get him on a stick,
he should have caught that
Evans
ball.
Makes
and you don't make that tackle.
Right here and goes
so
for
now we
down.
talking about a 4 to 5 yard gain turned into a 10, 11 yard gain and a first down off of a 3 yard catch. You know what I'm saying? This is what's been going on all day. So that was Reed Blankenship with a missed tackle. Nakobe Dean isn't athletic enough, or at least the measurables aren't there to be able to get there. Yeah, spinning on the belly is crazy. That is nuts. The simple fact he was spinning on his belly like that let you know how terrible that was. But thank you all you guys for jumping into the chat, having a conversation. We appreciate it. Keep them coming. Keep the comments coming. Obviously, if you've got anything you want to discuss or have anything you want to say, also got a line here. I meant to say that at the beginning of the stream. 484-519-1495. Get that number a call. If you want to leave any grievances, your displeasure, anything you want to say, we're going to listen to some of them, and I'm going to react to them. But back to this play. Back to that. You got to make those type of plays. You have to make those. These are winning plays. Yes, he might have gained some yards, but you don't know what that would do to that drive, or how much momentum that gives your defense moving forward with on that drive. Especially at the moment when we haven't been stopping them all day. We needed something from the defense. Something. Let's continue on with it.
Okay, beat the blitz. Then you see this right here. All right, here comes a blitz right now.
So another blitz, which I'm not mad at early on, but if you run it back, first of all, that's Nakobe Dean that's blitzing. So this is my issue when it comes to that. Nakobe Dean, great player, he's fast. He probably could have shot through a gap and stuff like that. But a guy like that with those type of measures, I don't want just lining straight up on the line and just running into a 300-pound man. Get some depth, disguise it a little more, get a running start, try to shoot through the gap. But that's not even the end of it. We're gonna keep running through this.
Comes a blitz right now.
So Nakobe Dean is now stood up by a 300-pounder. Nakobe Dean is not even 6 foot and barely cracking over 200 and something pounds. So he's not going nowhere. As you see, this is done. It's over. Nakobe Dean, he's like, if you're expecting him to do anything in this play after this, on the blitz, so mind you, he's on the blitz, gets stood up. He's not going to be able to do anything anymore. And now we have one less man in coverage to be able to do. Let's finish the play.
And right here, Baker is going to beat Nolan Smith to God.
Look at all the time. Can we count that? I know it's in slow motion, but in real time, it'll be a little faster. But look at the time, how much time he had.
You see this right here.
I know it's in slow motion, but if we look at this
right now.
1,000,
right
2 1,000, 3 1,000. So we're talking about in real time, that's probably about 2 seconds that Baker had. And in the NFL terms, anything over 2 seconds, it's an eternity back there. You're looking at the film. You're going to see.
Nolan Smith.
He was able to pump. He was able to give a pump. So he definitely was in the pocket for more than 2 seconds, for sure. He was actually able to give a pump.
Smith to Godwin with another perfect throw.
Can't be mad at it. Perfect throw. Perfect catch. It's Chris Godwin. The defense was there. It was just a great catch. But the issue is, like I said, back to what I said, the pressure. So not only the front four can't get pressure on their own, even when we're sending blitzes, now the blitzes aren't even getting there because we don't have the guys adequate enough to be able to make these things. Yes, I know I just showed the contrast. Yes, you have, the one completed one. You just got to make the tackle. This particular one, it's just too much time in the pocket. It's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. But at the same time, it's like we have to generate pressure somehow, some way. We can't continue to go into these games continuously just not being able to get to the quarterback at all. I don't think we registered a sack yesterday. We were close a couple of times, and I think the one time we did get a sack, it was came back with a flag. So these are the things that we still having issues with.
Over an outstretched arm of the defender, Nolan Smith. And then on 3rd and 11, right here.
3rd and 11. 3rd and 11. Remember what Baldy just said. This is 3rd and 11. We're talking about the NFL. We're talking about these are the situations you want to put your defense in, because we all know 3rd and 11, it's a throwing down. There's nowhere they're running on 3rd and 11 unless they're just conceding the play. But we're talking about early on in the game, no one's conceding and they're up, so they're not going to concede. So 3rd and 11, obvious passing down. What do we have drawn up when it comes to that?
He's going to climb the pocket, escape the pocket, eyes down the field right here, and find Godwin. Perfect throw on the move. And then you get
again, 3rd and 11. Where's the pressure? Nowhere to be found. Baker was able to step up, step to the side, get out, and deliver a pass. And not only that, who is that on the edge with him? Let's move it back. Which we've been preaching about all year. Especially, and it looked like it's another blitz. Nakobe Dean on another blitz. Yeah, Nakobe Dean on another blitz. And this a running back. He getting stood up by a running back. Nakobe Dean is getting stood up by a running back. If we look at our running back, that's a running back, people. A running back and standing up a linebacker. Usually linebackers run over the running backs. He is stood up in this frame. And then not only Baker stepping up and be able to get out, look who's to the left of him, Bryce Huff, the $60 million man that we got from the New York Jets, who not only is not getting pressure being stood up by the lineman, as if we continue rolling the video, climbs the pocket, loses contain once again. Baker, this isn't the first time Baker escaped from the pocket, be able to extend plays and get the ball downfield to other players or just run for positive yardage. So not only you're not getting any quality pressure to him, you're also losing contain once again, which has been the biggest issue when it comes to Bryce Huff and this team from the get-go, is being able to contain when it comes to passing or rushing downs. So now you're sitting here,
eyes down the field right here, and find Godwin.
Baker Mayfield just advancing the ball once again.
Rollout here. Like you watch Kate Otten right here. He's going to seal
design
Jomo right now, and Baker's going to get outside. And he's got all this real estate.
Nice play design. Not mad at it. Got the defensive line flowing one way, had the tight end coming back to block the DN. Nice play design. Nice play design whatsoever.
All this green. He's looking right. Oh, here comes Mike Evans on the backside, and he flips it to him.
Where is he going? What may I ask what Nakobe Dean is doing right now? Please, someone. First of all, I don't know why you're looking that way. Why are you looking backwards? The man is in front of you catching the ball. I think your priority should be where the man is with the ball. But not only that, let's finish this clip. Look at the effort he gives. Look at the effort he gives as well once the ball is caught. Just look.
The backside, and he flips it to him.
Why are you slowing down? Why are you looking at anyone else? This is where I say the effort comes into play when it comes to tackling and want to make plays on defense. Where is it? It's 4 Eagles defenders. That is N'Kobe Dean, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Isaiah Rodgers, and someone. I can't see the number right now. That's 4 Eagles, 5 if you want to count Zach Bond down at the bottom, and 1 man in the middle with the ball.
Every kind
What's going on?
Baker had for almost 350 yards. And then right here, a little pump and go, a little shoulder pump. Been doing that since he was a high school kid in Austin, Texas.
Another pump that let you know how much time he got in the pocket. He can sit there and pump fake people and get the ball out. No pressure.
And he finds Sterling Shepard against great coverage from Quinyon Mitchell. Put it right up there on a tee. Baker, some T-ball on Sunday against the Eagles. A majestic performance from Baker and a bounce back.
Again. Great coverage by Quentin, but again, great catch. But the defensive line is an issue. I've said it once. I've said it since the offseason, since training camp, since preseason start, since practices started, and now even when the season has been full-fledged and started. The Philadelphia Eagles need to go and acquire an edge rusher ASAP. I don't know how, and I don't care. That's not my job. It's really not my job. That is Howie Roseman's job. His job is to go out there and make this team as complete as he possibly can. And I know he always says he's always looking to see how he can make this team better. Well, damn it. We have a lot of evidence so far that we can see that this team needs to be upgraded. I don't care if it's trade. I don't care if it's free agency, which you probably won't find anyone on the market that's available right now. So it probably have to be a trade. And then I don't even care if it's Hassan Reddick to come back. I don't even care. Pay the money. Get close to as possibly can. Do whatever you have to do. Give the 3rd round pick back to the Giants that they gave you. Whatever you have to do. Because there's no way we can continue on with this. I look at this defense and say this. This defense, it can only marginally get better than what it is already. For what we see what the defense is, the best they can play is what you've seen with the Saints. And we've seen a lot of how bad they can play, and that's more not than anything. This defense will only be marginally better, in my opinion. It needs the talent. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, once again, being cooked one-on-one for a touchdown. Vic Fangio is definitely someone I'm looking at as well. Where's the adjustments? You adjusted well to the Saints last week. Made it bigger up front. Maybe that's something we need to look at more often, getting bigger up front. Pause. At times having Brandon Graham or that one play I seen with that Godwin caught over the middle, you had Nolan Smith in coverage. Why is Nolan Smith in coverage? Vic Fangio. Nolan Smith already is struggling to even give us any type of pass rush, any type of pressure, any type of hurries, anything on his primary job. But then now you're sitting there wanting to put him in coverage as well. And you already have your safeties and your cornerbacks already 10, 12 yards off of the ball. I'm not understanding what Fangio was doing. Because again, the reason why I can sit here and put that on Fangio a bit is because it's not about the fact that we all know the talent isn't there per se. Name-wise at least. You got the Jalen Carlos. Like I said, I like Q. I like Zach Bond. Slay had a solid game. But talent-wise, we aren't the best. But there's no way you can tell me you can't scheme anything up, or And if he can't scheme anything up, is it the players? And why do we have these players on the field if you can't even scheme anything up for them to be successful with? I know Fangio is very strong about how he wants to play defense, how he wants his defense aligned together, how he wants things to be where it's just like front four, go after it, everyone else cover. You know, these are guys like the Jim Schwartz and things of that nature. Like, these are all the type of people that's off the Fangio tree. But to credit to Jim Schwartz, who at times when he was here got frustrated with him not adjusting, at least he had the defensive line to go with it. He had the Fletcher Cox, the Hassan Reddicks, at one point Javon Hargrave, you know, Josh Sweat actually being productive somewhat because he's playing with guys like that, BG being still here. But things like that, you got to realize you lacking in that area. You got to switch it up. Todd Bowles sent blitzes from every angle possible. Granted, his linebacker play is way better, but you can't tell me his cornerback play is way better than the Eagles. Or it shouldn't be, at least. Or they should be at least on par. Where, bring him up some more. Q is very athletic. Quentin Mitchell. Very athletic. Ran a 4.3. So he can't play one-on-one press. Slay has already been, I know he's gotten older. You know, but that's his strong suit, man-to-man. Now, the slide, that's another issue. Because now I'm not going to harp it all on Nakobe Dean like it was just him as well. Avonte Maddox. At this point, I showed you. I showed you. At this point, Avonte Maddox, that's a free agent play right now. That's a play made by a person they just picked up off of the street. Avonte Maddox has been here for 5 years. Probably more than that, but for sure, at minimum, 5 years. And this is the effort. I believe Avonte Maddox, through all the injuries that he endured throughout the years, I think it's finally caught up with him. And there's nothing wrong with that, but these are the things that I'm wishing the team realize. And we're going to talk about, you know, what they should be doing, how they should be doing a little later in the stream when we comes to the bye week. But going into the bye week, definitely something to be recognized and figured out. We got I met Nakobe Dean in the airport. We the same size. He just in shape. And that's not a slight. That's not disrespect, because the man made it to the NFL. He's doing something that 90+% of the population in the world at his size or even bigger, pause, can do and make it in. But it matters. Measurable matter at certain, we got Bucks fans in here, certain aspects. Hurts, we're going to get the Hurts. Okay, lost 4 fumbles. Yup. No defense. No defense whatsoever. No defense whatsoever showed up in this game. So that's something that I believe this defense, I don't know how much better they can be, but it definitely has to be a hard look, an area or a side of the ball that has to be looked at very much. We had people get hurt as well. I believe Slay got hurt at one turn, had to miss some time. Jalen Carter got hurt. He had to lead a game, I believe, as well. Hope everything is well and good with the youngin. Hope all is well. Let's go over some of these stats, though, because we're going to dive into the other side of the ball as offense. Excuse me. So, for the Eagles, jeez Louise, defensively, man, I don't even know where to even start now, because it's so bad just looking at these numbers right now when it comes to this team against against Tampa Bay. It's just it's putrid. It's nothing here. It's nothing here. Let's see. Brandon Graham, two tackles. Slade had a good tackling day. He had 9. Tristan McCullum had 8. So when your safeties and DBs are making this many tackles, Quinyon Mitchell with 6, Reed Blankenship with 5. When your corners and DBs are making these many tackles, so let's say just in the secondary alone, Slade with 9, Tristan McCullum 8, Nakobe Dean. Well, I ain't gonna count the linebackers, but Slade McCullum 9 and 8, Quentin Mitchell 6, Reed Blankenship 5, Avonte Maddox had 5 combined. We talk about combined total tackles. And CJ Gardner-Johnson with 2 combined. In contrast to the defensive line players and Milton Williams with 2. Jalen Carter with 1. Bryce Huff with 1. Morrow Ajomo 1. I mean, these are Nolan Smith. He had 5, but I mean, he was in coverage a lot. Thomas Booker with 4. But like, you get my point is what I'm trying to say. That's a lot of second level tackling that's happening right now when it comes to the defensive lineman. A lot of second level tackling. So basically telling me it was a lot of missed tackles, not getting there early, and a lot of back end help that needed to be would let you know how much pressure, how much push we were getting up front. And it was very little. I will say it was very disappointing after a game like that, the previous game, having a defensive performance by our defensive line like that going into this year. Where if you look at the other side, tackles all over the place. Sacks. I believe Jalen was sacked 6 times, if I'm not mistaken. Let me pull it up. Yup. So Jalen was sacked 6 times. You know, forced fumble by Levante Davis, or another fumble lost by. So the defense did not show up after having a great showing the previous week. But let's get on this offense as well. Jalen Hurts finished the day 18 for 30, 158 yards, 1 TD, sacked 6 times. Saquon Barkley rushed 10 times for 84 yards. Longest was the 59-yarder to start the second half. Kenny Gainwell, two carries for 9 yards. Not much from the receiving core. Dallas Goedert had 8 catches. 8 targets, 7 catches for 62 yards. After that, Saquon 2, Paris Campbell had 4. He had the 1 lone touchdown pass. Jahan Dawson had 2. John Ross 1. Jack Stowe 1. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing here, people? What are we doing here? And that goes and that leads us into the offensive side of things. What's going on offense? What is going on offense? Another game starting slow. Another game of turnovers. Another game of drives stalling out. Another game of Saquon Barkley not getting the ball at all in the first half. I don't want to get to the presser, and let's get into Nick Sirianni on why Saquon Barkley wasn't featured enough early in this game.
2 carries in the first 3 possessions. What was behind that?
Yeah, we had 9 plays. You had 9 plays, and 3 of them are third downs. So now, he had 2 carries on 6 plays. That's the way football. When you go 3 and out, that no one's going to have any touches. Nobody's going to have any catches. We weren't sustaining drives. That's another. We can say what about the defense, but we weren't sustaining drives on offense, and so they were on the field a lot early on and a lot of plays. But I think if you see the flow of the game, you understand. why that happened, but I mean, obviously we want him to get the touches of the ball, but when you don't sustain drives, then you're not going to be able to.
And the thing is, he's not even wrong. Sustaining drives matter. But you mean to tell me none of those 8 plays you did could go to Saquon? I believe Saquon touched the ball maybe twice. If that. I believe going into a situation, this is back to how I started off the show. Knowing no AJ, no Smitty, no Lane Johnson, you would think of games of all games, you would leave heavily on your biggest 2 stars there at the moment, outside of the quarterback in your skill positions, and Dallas Goedert and Saquon Barkley. This offensive this offensive scheme or offensive game plan rather, this week should have been heavy on them. The whole world knew he wasn't there. Smitty and AJ wasn't there. Lane wasn't going to be there. Offensive line was going to struggle a bit, which they did. It's Todd Bowles' defense, lots of blitzes, a lot of different ways, lots of stunts. So I expected the offensive line to have some trouble today, which we all believed they should have went in to this game with a heavy dosage of those 2 guys. In any way, form, or fashion, Dallas Goedert, Saquon Barkley should have been heavily a part of this game plan. And in whichever way, shape, form, or fashion it could have been, they needed to be a part of this game plan. And I say it all the time, and I drive myself crazy because I believe they think we're crazy, or they think football is so beyond our realm of thinking that we can't think of basic concept of things to know we need to do to be able to effectively have an effective offense, which is, it doesn't always have to be all runs. There's no way Saquon should only have 18 touches in this game. There's no way. And all of them don't have to be runs. I understand you want to preserve Saquon Barkley for the year. I am with that plan, actually. I actually agree with that plan, actually. But situations, context, environment, flow of the game matters. Saquon Barkley is the best player on that field. Hands down. I'm talking about both sides. Yes, Mike Evans and Chris Godwin's on the other side. When we talk about pure talent, and Mike Evans is my guy. Best player on that field. Swing, screens, like I said, running the ball, put them in the slot, have them leak out, which I would say there were moments where Jalen could have made those passes. There were passes to be made to to Saquon, but that was later on in the game, but we'll get on Jalen in a second. But there's no way going into this game that shouldn't have been a heavy dose of it. Goddard should have been moved all around the floor. All around. I don't think there's anyone on their court that can really guard on a court. I keep saying court. On their field that can really guard Dallas. Lavonte Davis very good. Absolutely. But we talking about Dallas as a route runner, defensive player, backpedaling, all those different things that I still like my chances when it comes to Goddard. It'll be a battle, but I still like my chances. None of that was there. So we go into the game with the same old run here, push tush, try to do a bubble screen, run the same goal line play. We got a score on it, but run the same play, but this time with Paris Campbell across the middle to show everybody that there wasn't a wrong decision last week for Jalen to throw that there. Whatever. I get it. But there's no way they shouldn't have been featured more. And there's no way you can sit here and if you're telling me that now that Jahan Dotson has been here for the last 4 weeks now, there's no way he doesn't have a package now. He does it, pause, but there's no way you can get the ball or have his number be called on the play. Granted, yes, Jalen has to see him at times. There are moments where it's like he's like the second read or something like that. He just trust him and throw it to him. But he doesn't always have to be the second read or third read. He couldn't have a play where they threw a bomb. They threw a bomb to John Ross, who was elevated to the active roster the day of. But that couldn't have been to Jahan Dotson. Jahan Dotson couldn't get one of those in routes, those crossing routes that you threw to Smitty earlier in the game. Court one, that was nice. But it was an out route rather than was only for like 8 yards. But I mean, those same, like, I don't think it's that difficult as far as for a wide receiver to know, hey, you're the X on this play and you're going to run this route. I don't think it's that difficult for you to scheme up something like that to be able to just get players the ball. All Baker Mayfield, if you see the video he showed when it came to Baldy, all Baker Mayfield was doing outside of the ones he extended on to me was giving it to the guys, giving it to his guys, letting them make plays. Oh, you want to blitz with Zach Bond, who's standing over my wide receiver, which I realize now since he's going to blitz, he's going to be uncovered, and the next person who could defend him is a safety who's 12 yards off of the ball. Yeah, not run the route. Just turn around after 3 yards, Mike. I'm going to give it to you right there, and we're going to go get 8 to 10 yards off of that because they aren't tackling today. At minimum 5-6 yards, which is still a good game. I'm not understanding what the game plan is. What are they trying to figure it out? What are they trying to do? What are they trying to accomplish? Get back to these stats. Like I said, on the night, 18 for 30, 158 yards, 1 TD, 6 sacks. That's unacceptable. And that goes to that goes on Jalen Hurts. And in contrast, you look on the other side, Baker Mayfield threw the ball 47 times. You want Baker Mayfield to throw 47 times. Baker Mayfield makes mistakes. Baker Mayfield throws it up for you to make mistakes, to make plays on the ball, which he gave us opportunities in this game against them. But 47 times, completed 30 of them. So he's already over 50%. We're talking about 60-some% here now. 347 yards, 2 TDs, and we did sack him twice. Ran 4 times for 10 yards and a touchdown. Run game, 10 carries each for each of their running backs. Rashard Wright, Bucky Irvin, both had 49 yards. Bucky Irvin scored. Defensive line, once again, couldn't stop a nosebleed when it came to the run. Mike Evans, 14 targets, 8 catches for 94 yards and a tutty. Chris Godwin, 9 targets, 6 catches for 69 yards. K.I.N., 9 targets for 6 catches, 52 yards. Sterling Shepard, 3 catches, 5 targets, 51 yards. Trey Palmer, all 3 of his targets for 26 yards and a touchdown. Like, spreading the ball around. Spreading the ball around. Spreading the ball around. I'm sorry, this is my reporter down at the Eagles Media Day trying to get him on the show after it's done. So, stay tuned. Obviously, we're going to get into some basketball with the Sixers Media Day starting this week. Try to get someone there who's down there to give us some information, but that's later on in the stream. But just looking at all this, it's like, what are we doing? He's just giving the ball to his players, and why can't we do that on offense? I named you Rashard White, Bucky Irvin, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, K.I., and Sterling Shepard, and Trey Palmer. All had good games. But we're talking about Jalen Hurts throwing the ball 30 times. $20-30 times. And we had no one in double digits targets. And no one over No one over 4 catches. Paris Campbell had the second most catches in 4. And that was behind Dallas Goedert with 7. Saquon Barkley had 2 catches for 32 yards. I'm not understanding this offense, what they think about, and why Saquon isn't heavily involved early on in games, which I believe would put a lot of pressure on the defenses to start defending certain ways, honoring or respecting Saquon from the jump, because the way the defense was playing, the Bucs defense was playing, there's no way they should not have to worry about Saquon Barkley, because we want to throw. And then not only just throw, don't even throw to him. Or scheme him up to be a diversion, like anything. They went into that game probably prepared heavily to, where's Dallas Goedert, where's Saquon Barkley? And once they seen we weren't doing any of those things, they said, oh, thank you. The Tampa Bay Bucs said, oh, thank you. You don't want to give it to Saquon? Or we don't have to worry about tackling Saquon Barkley? Or we don't have to worry about guarding Dallas Goedert, who just went for 10 catches and 170 yards literally the week before? These are the things that I'll be talking about when it comes to this coaching. And then on top of it, the sloppy play continues, the turnovers continue. And that brings me to my next point. And I asked you this last week. Did we have a Nick Sirianni issue? Let me know in the comments. What's the issue with Nick Sirianni? Is it time to let Nick Sirianni go? Is Nick Sirianni the head coach that this Eagles team needs? Why week after week, offense starting slow? Penalties on this play once a drive finally gets going. Lack of fundamentals, as he always talks about, that you preach and speak about, one of your core values, fundamentals. Lack of fundamentals throughout the game, both sides of the ball. Players going directly to social media right after the game to argue with fans. One of your leaders in Darius Slay being one of them. I understand as a man, being stripped of so much power within 1 year can do something to you. But the things that you were left to be responsible of, like culture, like responsibility, like, attention to detail, all those things, lead of real men, all those different things, still can't even be good at. Because again, we just seen it. Lack of preparation, lack of still having penalty problems. Knowing you don't have an offense this week, you would think you would hone in and push the narrative of, we got to be good, we got to be damn near perfect, we got to know our cues, we got to know our points, we got to recognize this, recognize that, we got to be focused. We gotta know the snap count. We gotta know how to line up correctly. We gotta know how to line up correctly when there's certain formations, when you gotta cover the tight end or not cover the tight end. You gotta be off the line. You gotta be on the line. You gotta motion at the right time. You gotta motion correctly. And granted, head coach, quarterback is in tandem, so Jalen has to run these things as well. So that falls on him as being the man on the field to get these guys in position. But the simple fact that it even has to trickle down to that effect as much as it does, not that it doesn't happen to other teams, but it's week after week and we see the same thing after same thing after same thing. That's an issue. That's an absolute issue. Excuse me, when it comes to that. That's an absolute issue. Nick Sirianni is an issue. Nick Sirianni, to me, in my opinion, not sure how much better this team can be. And if I want to be frank, just looking at the dynamic, and this goes to Howie Roseman as well. This is the dynamic you wanted. You wanted just the, quote unquote puppet head coach. The puppet head coach to be there, to be able to control all these aspects of the roster, who plays, who doesn't please, type of scheme. You go out and get coordinators like Vic Fangio and Kellen Moore. This falls on you as well. I don't believe this particular system works. The system that Howie Roseman has created with the puppet head coach of Nick Sirianni and the two coordinators, offensive and defensive, being on their own or on their own tandem, and they more so report to you and not necessarily head coach. I don't like this system. I know it's worked, but if you're going to have this system, one, you got to let the head coach be the head coach. People are going to bring up the scenario of John Harbaugh in Baltimore, Mike Tomlin in Pittsburgh, Bill Belichick at one time in Boston, New England, even though he still ran the defense, but still was the overseer, head coach of everything. Still those things. They're going to bring those up and say that this system does it. Yes, it does work. It can work. But for this team and with this head coach, I don't believe it can work because of the fact of all those people that we named. One came in with resumes, Jim Harbaugh being one who was a special teams coordinator here in Philadelphia at one point. Went through the trenches, learned a lot from different people, but most of all, and most importantly, has the utmost respect for the players had the utmost respect for their head coach. I know Jason Kelsey, went on his rant how much we love Nick, that, and the third, X, Y, Z. I know last year at the end of the year when they asked about him being fired and Fletcher Cox, was mad about, like, why would you think that he's a Super Bowl, this, that, and the third, whatever. But it's evident the players aren't responding like they need to. They are not responding like they need to. They aren't. And that falls on the head coach. I know a lot of times it feels like you want to blame all the bad things on the head coach. And I'm not going to even go down that rabbit hole with that conversation. But the things that are directly correlated with the head coach when it comes to culture, preparation, and just want to by the players of playing hard and playing for the head coach is evident and seen that it isn't happening at this present moment. It's just not. And you can't sit here and tell me that it is. You just can't. I can't fall on that sword right now and really think that he's doing a well enough job to think that he's doing a good job. I just can't. I just can't. I really just can't see it right now. If you're telling me he can change or this or that and the third, I don't see it as much. But if it happens, I would love to be wrong with all of this. Jalen Hurts, Nick Sirianni, offensive line, defense, like everything. I would love to be wrong completely. I would gladly come on here and be like, say I was wrong, apologize, whatever I need to do. Not necessarily apologize because, listen, at the moment you stink, but I would do whatever I need to do, to let that be known. But at the same token, the head coach has some responsibility. And is this head coach the right guy for the job? Plain and simple. Is this head coach the right guy for the job? On to Jalen Hurts. This Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts. What can I say? I mean, I've been a supporter, defender, a true, just guy for the guy, give him this chance. Look at the year of 2022, the year they went to the Super Bowl. Made me a believer because I was one of the ones on the fence coming in. Jalen Hurts, second round. We all know his college story, all those things. I know he had talent X-wise, but could he be enough to be a starting quarterback, franchise quarterback in this league? I had questions about that. 2022, he showed a lot, passing, running ability, athleticism, all the above. Went to the Super Bowl and essentially outdo Patrick Mahomes and could have won if it wasn't for a couple things. But as of right now, if anyone is saying anything about Jalen Hurts and his play this season, after ending the season away last season, you cannot debate, you cannot argue with said person. Because what can you argue about? Overthrows, underthrows, late passes, turnovers, all these things we speak about still persists. Yes, no AJ, no Smitty. But if we isolate just this game alone against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and you look at the play of Jalen Hurts, I don't care who was out there. The way the ball was thrown, the way the ball wasn't getting there or was late or whatever it might be, or him missing players who were open, sticking to one person, whatever it might be, you cannot sit here and say Jalen Hurts has been playing well. You cannot. And I root for Jalen. Jade is my guy. I developed that, admiration for the guy, like I said, after the 2022 year, and I stuck with it. But if I want to be fair, I can and be honest and be true to myself and even this show. He has not played well. This is Jalen Hurts on his play after the game against the Buccaneers.
Overall, I just have to play better. I got to play better. I have a ton of opportunities to lead the offense and really play complementary ball, and it starts with me on that side of the ball. And I would get down like we did. We got to help. I have to help the defense out, executing, communicating. The things that I'm seeing on the field, and just trying to really create the momentum that we need just to get in the end zone. It starts with me in terms of getting in the end zone and leading drives, and I didn't do a good enough job with that.
There you go. Granted, I love all the things he said. You can't be mad at what he said. What's going on, everyone? What's going on? I'm not wrong with what he said. And he's absolutely correct. It does fall on him. He gotta be better. He mispleased. He didn't help the defense out, who helped them out the week before. As bad as the defense played, the offense hasn't been good all 4 weeks. Or at its best, all 4 weeks. But the week the offense needed them in New Orleans, the defense needed the offense. The offense needed the defense in New Orleans. They showed up putrid this week. But this is the week I felt like the offense could have helped the defense a little bit. Not saying it would have been perfect, but all those things he said are absolutely true. But when are they going to be things that are not just said anymore, or things just being cliches or sayings? And we all know living in Philadelphia and being Philadelphia fans, that don't last too long. We like how press conferences go. We like to hear the right things. But if the play doesn't match what's being said on the field, what's being played on the field, it doesn't matter. And Jalen Hurts has not played well this season thus far. He just hasn't. Let's just put it out there. He has his moments. He made some great throws. He had a comeback. Win in New Orleans, whatever. I understand those things. I understand the talent is there. I understand the potential is there. And I understand he can be a good quarterback. He can be a great quarterback. But as of right now, he is not showing it through the end of last week and then also the start of this new season. It just can't. It just can't. Because what can't be defended anymore is, one, the talent is much better. And I get this, again, this goes hand in hand. Coordinator has to draw up these plays for Saquon and other players, especially when you're down certain players. But you can't always say people aren't open just because you don't have Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown out there. You can't always say they didn't have any protection because Lane Johnson is hurt, and then later on in the game, Cam Jurgens got hurt, and Landon Dickerson had to move to center, and Tyler Steen had to come in at left guard. Because although it might not be perfect, one, there's no perfect situation in the NFL. It's the NFL. Everyone's fast. Everyone's big. Pause. Everyone's smart. Everyone's athletic for the most part. All those things. But you can't keep telling me no one's open and you don't have no protection. Someone's open sometime. Sometimes you have protection. You have time in the pocket. You mean to tell me on all those plays, and out of the two catches that Jahan Dotson had, he was only open those 2 times? You mean to tell me the whole game, Paris Campbell was only open for the 3 times he caught his passes? You mean to tell me the only time Saquon Barkley was open on a running back leaking out, or him maybe running an angle route from the backfield, was only open 2 times? Dallas Goedert, even the 7-8 targets he had and the 7 catches there, I still believe he probably was open still more than that. You can't tell me this, people. You can't. I won't accept anything when it comes to that. That's why I started the show off letting you know, I know A.J. Brown isn't here. I know Devontae Smith isn't here. I know Lane Johnson is not playing. But this is the National Football League. And although Jalen Hurts is being paid not top 5 quarterback money, he's still being paid franchise money. And your franchise quarterback should be able to make franchise quarterback throws and plays. The forced fumble that everyone likes to talk about. Draw the diagram up. I seen a diagram online. On that route, Grant Calcaterra, backup tight end, wide open down the seam in the middle of the field. Wide open. Calcaterra, after the game, even explained the route was actually there for open up for Dallas Goedert on the out route, and he just so happened to get open because the safety went to that side where Dallas was going. And instead of Jalen Hurts recognizing what's going on, the safety moving, vacating the middle of the field, let me deliver this ball now to Grant Calcaterra, not after he's halfway down the field and defenders are near you. We just showed the play earlier. It was a blitz. Baker Mayfield immediately recognized it. Wide receiver immediately recognized it. Instead of running my full route, I'm going to run 3 yards and turn around and let's get the ball and let's just move. But instead of Jalen Hurts recognizing that, seeing that, oh, the safety is vacated the middle of the field. Oh, they're blitzing. We have the perfect play called. Let me get rid of it now to Grant, which already was a first down, but definitely was going to be a touchdown. Let me hold on and pat it. Cool. Move back. Avoid the defender. But you got to recognize defenders don't stop running just because you avoid them the first time. So not only you had a chance in the beginning to be able to get rid of the ball early to Grant, you had a second chance to be able to get rid of the ball or run with two things that is crazy that Baldy showed that particular play with Baker Mayfield sliding out of the pocket. That's the same exact thing that Jalen could have done. Once he stepped up into the pocket, he could have made that throw to Grant at that moment. Late, but later than what it should have, but that's how far the safety was away from the play. Still could have made the play, but no. But then if you didn't trust that, which I know that's the saying, he doesn't trust the middle of the field, doesn't trust throwing at X, Y, and Z. Got it. You could escape to the right. Let's get on out of here. Let's go pick up some yardage at least. Bad play by the quarterback. It's been bad play by the quarterback. Some good plays mixed in, because I can always go back and show some great plays that he has thrown as well. Great throws. Make great manipulation of the pocket as well that he's done. But in the same instant, it's just too much bad that outweighs the good at this moment. And not only does it fall on the coach, it falls on the quarterback for the slow starts. 4 weeks in a row, slow starts. Not scoring in the first half. Or leaving the first half with minimum points, or more so leaving points on the field in the first half. These are things that are issues that I believe are a big one when it comes to Jalen Hurts. This just is. Jalen Hurts has talent, has potential. But Jalen Hurts has to be a better quarterback in the NFL. Because being frank, if you go back and look at the game towards the end of the game, fourth quarter, when it was basically over, but they're still going. It was 3rd and 16, I believe, and Jalen ran the ball for about 12 yards. He didn't even look good running. He didn't look spry. He didn't look fast. I don't know if it's injuries. I don't know if he got too much muscle on now. I don't know. But this version of Jalen Hurts is unacceptable and will not bode well for this team going forward, because I've already said I don't believe the defense will be much better than what it is if no changes are made. So they're marginally going to get better. You might get individual play better from different people who's learning, like some of the young guys. But if this team is to do anything or go anywhere, Jalen Hurts has to be the guy. It's just plain and simple. They want to put the Carson Wentz regression thing on him. Okay, you can say that, but I'm not going to go that far just yet. But like I started this off with, I cannot argue with anyone who wants to say that right now, because what has Jalen Hurts done thus far to prove them otherwise? He has done nothing otherwise to prove fans, media, anything otherwise. and the Titanic. Nick lost his team worse than that. And just to touch on that, back on the whole Nick Sirianni situation, that's something we have to consider. And losing locker rooms doesn't always mean they don't want to play, they don't want to put forth effort, it's multiple ways losing a locker room can be. Like I said, you got teammates going to social media 2 to 3 to 6 minutes after the game is literally done. We're not talking about the celebratory dancing on RG Live and stuff like that in the locker room. We're talking about going to Twitter. There we go. Going to Twitter, arguing with fans. Slay out here talking about when you speak my name, make sure you remember to say, and then start naming all these accolades. That's a leader, a captain, by the way. Isaiah Rodgers also on Twitter showing stuff. Eli saying things. Eli Ricks, who's a young guy looking up to people. And I believe our PSN leader and Liam even mentioned it on his reaction of the game, where Slay is a captain and leader. You're going on Twitter ranting, being upset about fans being upset about you guys playing bad. It's not like we're mad just to be mad. You're playing bad. And you got young guys looking at you. So now you got Eli Ricks, who's since deleted but posting videos of his highlights of all the things he's done. No one wants to see that. That's why I say you can lose a locker room in many ways. They don't respect you enough to even know, like, we shouldn't be doing this. Still, when I hear Jalen Hurts speak about Nick Sirianni, it doesn't come off as like him genuinely messing with the man. Not saying they can't work together. They don't talk. They don't laugh at moments. But we all been through it. We all been through it. We can function around people that we don't necessarily, get along with. Mentioning 0 points in the first quarter in every game is disgusting. What did I say? Coaching, quarterback, tandem, hand in hand. It's no way. And what makes it worse is, I'm glad you brought that up. What makes it worse is the first freaking possession, offensive possession by the team is plays that are scripted. Literally, everyone in that huddle knows all 15 plays going into the first drive of the game. And you still can't execute these things when you know, we're doing these 15 regardless of however else this game goes. Whatever else this game does, the first possession on offense, we are doing these 15 plays. And you still can't score points. You're still getting turnovers. You're still getting penalties. Still having illegal formations. 0 points in the first quarter of every game. It's been 4 weeks now. This is good. This is good. Exactly my point I was about to get into. The exact point I was about to reach into right now. And I might as well go into it. And I appreciate you, this comment that you wrote. I hate that Jalen compounds Nick's terrible play calling with turnovers. I'm not going to say it's Nick's play calling because we all know Kellen Moore calls the plays. Does Nick Sirianni, have an impact at times on plays as far as should we run, should we throw here, should we go on fourth down? We've been through that, the past couple of weeks, when it comes to his decision making, when it comes to that. But back to Jalen's play. We already, as a team, are struggling with, what can I say, the play calling, decision making, scheming, who gets the ball, who doesn't get the ball, Saquon getting the ball, not getting the ball. We already struggling with that when it comes to coaching side. You can't also compound with that with another forced fumble. Another almost INT. Don't forget, he almost threw another pick If it didn't drop and hit the floor because he was late to a pass to the outside again, which we all know in the NFL, you got to have an arm. You got to be early because when you're late, it's going to the house. So not only another forced fumble, you also have another almost potential INT. You can't compound bad or lackluster play calling or coaching. This is where I said the quarterback has to stand up and lift it, because I've seen a stat as well when it comes to Jalen Hurts. Him and Patrick Mahomes essentially right now are basically the same way when it comes to INTs this year. They didn't put the fumbles on there because he don't have as many fumbles as Jalen, but completion percentage, quarterback rating, all those things. But what makes Patrick Mahomes special, and you can believe it, and this is the contrast to last year, because we know last year, although we were winning games, we also can tell our team wasn't playing well neither. Patrick Mahomes has a track record and a big enough sample size to know that, yeah, we can overcome this with that guy. Because as bad as Patrick Mahomes has been playing this season specifically, they're 4-0 still. They're still 4-0. So not sure what can happen, what's going to happen, because we all know what's going up next. Obviously, it's week 4. The Eagles are going into their bye week. So we have a week off. So we won't have to stress this weekend, us Eagles fans. We'll have a week off. We got changes that have to be made. Defense has to be upgraded. Defense has to be upgraded. Need pressure. Need an edge rusher. Not sure what we can do about the linebackers. But offensively, they have to come back stronger. They'll be healthy, obviously. Prayerfully, no setbacks or anything. So you should have A.J. Lane and Devontae Smith back in 2 weeks. But they have to come back with better game plan, better scheme, better. I don't know. That's not my job to figure it out. Y'all call yourselves offensive gurus. Y'all call yourself offensive genius. We don't know what, we don't know what we seeing out there. We never played the game. We never, all that stuff like that. Okay, then. We never played the game. We aren't all you guys' levels. But it's your job to figure it out. Why aren't you guys being better? Why aren't you guys playing better? You keep telling us how we aren't able to even fit your jock strap or be in the same league as you. Pause. So, okay, professional. Okay, genius. Okay, specialist. Okay, head coach. Okay, quarterback. Okay, safety. Linebackers, corners, defensive linemen, offensive linemen, running backs, wide receivers. We haven't played the game. We cannot do what you can do on the field. So, since we don't know what we talk about or what we're speaking about or what we're seeing, or is that complicated, then you figure it out. So, after a bye week, Howie Roseman, Nick Sirianni, Kellen Moore, Vic Fangio, Jalen Hurts, and all the leaders of the teams, captains of the teams, A.J. Brown, Slay, show us what we need to see. Because anybody that's saying anything negative or criticism towards you guys is warranted. It's absolutely warranted. And if you want to argue it, you need to just get out your feelings. Because if you're arguing, you have no right to. Michael Clayton. No, he can escape. They had a block punt. They got us back into the game with that block punt, but we essentially didn't do anything with it. And before I continue, one more thing. After the block punt, you get the 2 points. We don't score, right? Going to halftime, we come out of halftime. First carry to Saquon Barkley, 59 yards. Got us in the red zone. Saquon Barkley touches the ball one time after that. This is why I come back to what I said earlier. Saquon Barkley should always, in some way, form, or fashion, be a part of that offensive play. Whether it's a decoy, or rather him touching the ball. But especially in the red zone, it's not too many people I want to see with the ball other than Saquon Barkley. And that's just being honest. Only other person if you throwing it to A.J. Brown. Or even Smitty at times. Depends. But at the number one top of the list, red zone, 10 yards and in, my running back out of 3 plays going to be involved in it at least twice. I'm sorry. So this bye week is going to definitely be crucial for the 76ers going forward. I'm sorry because I'm about to move on to that. For the Eagles moving forward, what they do team-wise, roster-wise, remains to be seen, but has to be something has to be done. And can head coach, OC, quarterback get on the same page? Get the quarterback right. Get the play calling right. Can they come back stronger coming out of the bye? We shall see. I believe it's the Browns that we see coming out. Just an update. NFC standings. Obviously, we're tied for second against the Dallas Cowboys. Philadelphia Eagles are tied for second. Giants 1-3, 2-2 for the other teams. 3-1 by the Washington Commanders. Who? I would say this right now. Jaden Daniels. I know we talk about the Commanders a lot, but if he's anything the way he's been playing right now, best quarterback in the NFC East, definitely up for grabs. And I'm just being honest. And this is the guy that like Jalen Hurts. And I'm just being honest. Arm talent, strength, leadership, so far, making plays out of no plays, is there for the guy. So the Commanders are leading the division right now at 3-1. So we're gonna have an uphill battle. Look like it's gonna be a three team race for the division in the NFC East. It looked like, because I don't think the Washington Commanders schedule this year is very hard, so that I could believe they will win some games if the quarterback continues to play the way he's been playing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in the conference, the Eagles are tied for 5th, or are tied for 6th right now. The Detroit Lions play tonight. So they could potentially, if they lose, they'll be 2-2. So it'll be 16, 1, 2, 3, 4. It'll be 5 teams tied for 5th in the conference. So again, season isn't over. Far from it. 2-2 going into the bye week. I did say last stream that worst case scenario going into the bye is going into it 5-5. I'm 2-2. I'm sorry, 2-2. Come out of it. A lot of games left. A lot of season left. And I'm not saying throw away the season, but what we've seen so far, you can't argue the disappointment the fans have with the team right now. Can the Eagles change this narrative? Can the Eagles all of a sudden go on a 9-game win streak? Unlikely, but can they do it? Absolutely, coming out of the bye. But at this point in moment, me personally, my opinion, when it comes to this team and all the teams in our cities, essentially in Philadelphia, Phillies and Sixers included, I'm at a point of just like, show me all the proclamations of this is going to be the year, this is what we're going to do, this is how we're going to do it. We're no longer there. Phillies losing the last couple of years with opportunities to win. We already know the Sixers situation about the second round. And now the Eagles. since the Super Bowl year, gradually gone down each year afterwards. With too much talent on the team, and you shouldn't even be doing that. I know it's hard to change. I know when you overturn so many leadership and veteran presence in the locker room to the younger guys, I know some change happens, but this is where you need a strong head coach in that, which I don't believe we have that great of a one on this team. So Eagles 2-2 going into the bye week. Hold on, I'm trying to see. Going into the bye week. Got a lot of things to do, a lot of things to fix and change. Injury update, like I told you earlier today. Cam Jenkins left the game. Landon Dickerson had to finish at center. Looks like early reports I've seen it was just cramping because it was hot down there, so it looks like he might be fine. Jalen Carter as well left the game as well. Also was, didn't return. Also, cramping was initially the thing as well. So, yeah, we're going to see coming out of this bye week. Definitely going to see what needs to be done. How we are, what type of team we are moving forward. Coming out of this bye week, 2-2, after the performances we put on the field for the last 4 weeks. Now will be the test. Now will be the moment coming out of the bye where we see what this Eagles football team is, who they are, their identity, and everything about them. We will see. We will see. Because what we've seen thus far will not win you a Super Bowl, let alone a playoff game. It'll be an early exit. I'll give you the standards. Eagles on a bye week. I appreciate everyone being in here today. I had a good time, I guess, with you guys, expressing my frustration when it comes to this. Nolan Smith and coverage against Godwin was terrible. We got another one here. Hurts has fumbled 41, has 41 fumbles and 39 INTs in 66 career games. He had one of the top one lines his whole career. Superstar skill positions, fancy talking. Jameis Winston sprinkled in with some scrambling. Not going to say Jameis Winston, but turnovers overall, fumbles, interceptions is an issue. It's an absolute issue. It's an absolute issue. We will see, though. We will see. Eagles on bye week. We see them in 2 weeks. Give us some time off to decompress and think about this team and break it down. So we're going to move on from here. In other news, we're going to switch over to basketball for a bit. I think you guys continue to like, comment, and share. Make sure you share. Please, make sure you share this live. Please make sure you subscribe. Please do. Because it only is going to get better from here. And I want you to be a part of it every way it goes. Like I said, we also got the line there. Make sure you dial the number, that number that's at the bottom of the screen as well. Make sure you dial that number, leave your comments. I would love to get your reaction on anything sports. It don't necessarily have to be Eagles or whatever. Like, just whatever you got on your mind, leave a message. I'd like to get to them and talk about that as well. But, yeah, another news, NBA, rather. The NBA. Before Sunday even came, if you all didn't know, we all know, but if you don't know, over the weekend, a blockbuster trade happened. Number a blockbuster trade did. Oh, okay. Getting numbers of calls in right now. We got okay. Let's see. Bucks had our numbers since Joe Jurevicius came through and blew up the vet. Who is that? We got people talking. All right. So like I was saying. Okay, we got something here. Let's listen to this. Give me 1 second. Is it tapped in? Let me see if I can pull this up. We do got one. Yeah, so let's listen to this one message I want to get to. Eagles fan, his frustration on it again. Let's listen to this for a second. I'll comment on it. Give me 1 second. But I heard all that again. Jalen Brown. I'm sorry. At the end of the day, Jalen Hurts still gonna have to play better, even with a lot of those guys coming back. I know we're missing Smitty and AJ and Lane and all those things. I get it, but Jalen play is still going to have to come into factor. We will be a better team with these guys back, but if Jalen continues to turn the ball over, not see guys, not get the right throws, not accurate passes, all this doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So essentially, that's it on the Eagles, man. We're gonna move over like I started. I just realized we had got some calls and left a message. So I wanted to get that to you guys and just discuss, what we got going on. But Eagles, basketball in the NBA, we all know Media Day has started today. The Sixers are back in action, Media Day. But before that even come along, we had a trade over the weekend. The New York Knicks made another blockbuster trade, and this time they made a trade for Karl Anthony Towns of the Minnesota Timberwolves. I'm not sure what the Knicks are doing, nor the Minnesota Timberwolves, but I'll tell you this, I like it. I don't think the Knicks are as strong as they were before. I know they needed a center. Mike Mitchell Robinson probably won't be. He's set back in surgery. during the offseason, so he's going to miss most of the year. I even seen reports that they might even be trying to trade him. Hartenstein, who was their backup, who was their center at the time, he went to Miami, I believe. I can be wrong. Don't quote me on that, but got picked up by another team, so they have a center. They traded Karl-Anthony Towns. They got Karl-Anthony Towns, and they traded away Julius Randle, Dante DiVincenzo, who I feel like was an important key to their perimeter defense, outside scoring, Swiss Army knife, versatile thing. But obviously, with a contract that Cat has just recently signed, the money got her matched. So from the rip, so Randall wasn't going to be enough, and then you got to add in Dante DiVincenzo as well. I believe then not only that, previously they gave away a couple first rounds, quite a few first rounders for Mikal Bridges from the New York Nets. So Brooklyn Nets. So I mean, at the presently constructed, you got Brunson, OG Anunoby, Bridges, Josh Hart, Karl-Anthony Towns as your potential starting five. Yes, I'm not going to say Karl-Anthony Towns isn't going to be help or isn't going to be good there. Still can shoot the three, space the floor, things of that nature like that. So they're not going to not be bad, but I also do believe they made themselves weaker in the front court. Now, knowing Dibs, OG Anunoby, and Josh Hart going to be playing 40 minutes from game one, guarding 4s and 5s. Because especially when it's time to go up against Joel Embiid or Jokic or somebody like that, Karl-Anthony Towns isn't going to be able to handle those guys. He's never been able to. Even a guy, someone like Anthony Davis, who's a similar style, but even someone like that, or Zion Williamson, when you play him coming down the line, a lot of different bigs in the league. Now you in the East. Now you got to handle Joel Embiid 4 times. Then you got Bam Adebayo. You got to go against 4 times. Now, you know what I'm saying? So I do believe the Knicks we actually weakened themselves. Can it work? Absolutely. Anything can happen. It's the NBA. It's professional sports. But presently speaking, and just how the roster is constructed and just the people that they have, you kind of taking away the identity that they came with was the toughest. Not saying Julius Randle was the perfect fit. It was the perfect fit. Was the perfect fit. Okay, just got a text. Mike can get someone on down at the Sixers Media Day as well. They just waiting for Kyle Lowry to come out, and after Kyle Lowry, then he'll be on to talk about what happened at Media Day. Okay, so we might stay on just a little bit longer, see if we can get a Sixers beat writer, Zach, on the phone to see what's going on down at Media Day. But until we get that, we'll stay on here, and if we don't get them, that's fine. I'll go live again later on today with him, if need be, if we can't get Zach on the line prior to the stream ending. But back to the Knicks trade. Yeah, so I do believe they gotten weaker when it comes to this. Definitely. It doesn't move the needle for me, and I'm not going to talk about Minnesota. I'm not even sure what they're doing, because now you put another ball stopper and Julius Randle down there with Ant, and then you still got to do something with Rudy Gobert and all that. So I don't know what they're doing in Minnesota, but when it comes to the Knicks, because it directly affects the 76ers when it comes to seeding and playoffs and all the things that we speak about. It was a blockbuster move. It was definitely a name. It definitely shocked the system. Cat was shocked. He didn't know he was going to be traded, things of that nature like that. But it's what happens. It's what happens. But it also it doesn't scare me or move the needle for me when it comes to this season. So that's the latest in the NBA. Knicks trade for Karl-Anthony Towns. The New York Knicks has traded for Karl-Anthony Towns. But I'll still take my roster on my Sixers, and that's where we're moving on to Sixers Media Day. Basketball is here. Basketball is here, right around the corner. I believe in a week, the Sixers start training camp in the Bahamas as well. Basketball Media Day around the association. Everyone's taking their pictures. All the GMs and the players are having their conversations, having their press conferences. all the above. So basketball is back, and I'm excited, and I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go, and I'm ready to go. You hear me? Let's see. Just looking online right now just to get some information of what's been being said down at Sixers. Sixers Media Day. Obviously, I do want to reiterate, if you weren't here early on the stream, I do want to reiterate that at the start of the Sixers Media Day, Daryl Morey started his press conference off, letting everyone know, telling the news that Sixers legend, Sixers Defensive Player of the Year, Dikembe Mutombo has passed away due to, I want to say, brain cancer. It is brain related. Sad story. And our own Sixers advocate Lauren Rosen was down there, and she tweets. This is what Daryl Morey said when it comes to Dikembe Mutombo. An emotional Daryl Morey reflects on Dikembe Mutombo passing at Sixers Media Day. I knew him personally. We were together for many seasons, and he's obviously important to the Sixers franchise as well. There aren't many guys like him, just a great human being. When I was a rookie GM in the league, my first chance in Houston, he was someone I went to all the time. Obviously, his accomplishments on the court, but an amazing human being, what he did off the court for Africa. Rest in peace, Dikembe. Absolutely right. Again, like I said, if you didn't hear the news, you're hearing it now. Dikembe Mutombo, Sixers center, the 2003 Defensive Player of the Year, has passed away due to brain cancer. Sad day. Condolences out to him, his family. Not him, but condolences out to his family, rather. I'm sorry. His family, wife, kids, whatever, whoever's left behind. Condolences out to him, country, everything else. So, condolences out to him. Okay, so we might get him more earlier than sooner now. When it comes, so let me try to get him up here on stream, but I'ma still tap in. So that was sad to see when it comes to that. Let's see what else they're saying. Other things I'm seeing is Joel Embiid has lost about 15, what they say, 20 to 30 pounds over the offseason. He does look skinny though, as well. He does look real skinny as well. Let's see. How I can. Here we go. There we go. All right. There we go. Hope you guys can see that. Yep, there we go. So you have that. Let's see what else we got going on here. Here's your full statement on the passing. Embiid spoke on Dikembe Mutombo. Let's listen to this and see what we got.
I just heard about it. I condolences to his family. So it's a sad day, especially for us Africans and really the whole world, because other than what he's accomplished on the basketball court, I think he was even better off the court. Those are some of the guys. He's one of the guys that I look up to as far as having an impact, not just on the court, but off the court. He's done a lot of great things. He did a lot of great things, for a lot of people. So I mean, that's it was a role model of mine. So like I said, it is a sad day, I just heard about it. Condolences to his family. So it's a sad day, especially.
So Joel Embiid definitely affected, like I said, about it. I'm gonna try to. Zach, I believe, is almost ready as well to give us some news and notes about down there. So once I get him on the line, I will pull him up as soon as he calls. Oh, it looks like he's calling right now. Give me 1 second here. All right. Hello, Zach. Hey, how you doing, man? How you doing? You're on live. You're on stream of Open Gym right now, man. I was just speaking with the people here. Let them know about Sixers Media Day down there, man. And I'm glad you had some time to get on live with us and let us know what's going on out there. So I'll leave the floor open to you, man. Like I said, this is Zach, PSN, Metro Philly, Sixers beat writer, extraordinaire. So let us know what's going on down there in Sixers Media Camp, some of the news and notes, some of the things you've seen and heard down there since you've been down there. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. 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 I guess I could piggyback off that. How is the rest of the team dealing with that news as well, because like I said, I was definitely about to lead into the fact that, him leading off the press conference with that news, how you think the rest of the team is been impacted by that. And then especially someone like Joel Embiid, who's, from Africa, has ties there and everything like that. And I know it's probably close to Dikembe at one point. Mhm. Mhm. Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, like, just speaking about, like I said, I spoke earlier in the stream, how I had a slight connection to him as well. My mom working for Children's Hospital, seeing him a few times in my life, going there, visiting her at work, she bringing home signed memorabilia and stuff like that. So like you said earlier, he impacts, the world essentially like that in some way, form, or fashion, because he was always a great guy, a gentle guy, a nice guy, essentially like that. So I can only imagine the world, the NBA community, let alone the world, how they affected by this. Like I said, we all grew up and at the height of the Sixers at our younger ages, 2003, going to the championship. So we all know about the Kimbe Mutombo, essentially like that. But like I said, condolences to his family. Like I said earlier, everyone that's left behind. I said it was a tragic situation as far as how he passed away. But rest in peace to Kimbe Mutombo. But we go and move forward. Like I said, it's media day. We got some new faces down there. I'm hearing Joel Embiid lost some weight, a lot of weight. I guess we can go down the line. We can start with Joel, and then we can move on to anything you heard, anything from the newcomer of Paul George, Tyrese, anybody of importance that said anything that stuck out to you. He's done it. As he should. I agree that everything that's been said about him, like you said, he's put forth the effort to continuously try to better himself, rather it be weight, conditioning, whatever it might be. He's done that. Somebody got a lot of new faces down there. Like I said, Caleb Martin, Eric Gorton, Kelly Oubre returning, things of that nature. Did Nick Nurse speak? And then if he did he say anything about, positions, how people were used, anything that I know training camp is right around the corner. They haven't got there yet, but they'll be there soon. But is there any insight of him, maybe speaking about the generalities of like how he perceived this team, how he want them to be, or a certain way he's going to use certain players? No, Nick Nurse. Yes. Nick Nurse, about the team. As far as Nick Nurse, did he speak on, play style, how players will be used, or he has an idea of how the team he wants to play, or anything like that? I know it's early and training camp is around the way, but did he give any inkling about how he perceives this team going forward into the season? Nick Nurse, that is. So the vibes are high down there, huh? Mm-hmm. Absolutely, absolutely. I love to hear. I love to hear that the vibes are high. I love to hear that. I mean, it was the beginning of the season. All teams are like that, but we all know how we've come into each of these Sixer seasons. It hasn't been so promising or as high expectations as it is as this season. Like you mentioned before, it's a lot of opportunity here with some of the moves that are made, like the cat move, which I believe the Knicks maybe gotten weaker when it comes to that. It's just a great opportunity, and this is probably the best team Joel Embiid has had surrounding him to finally get that push and get over that second round hump. Yeah, man, I appreciate you joining us. Anything you want to leave us with? Anything you want that whatever it is, just anything you want to leave us with before I let you go here? That's good to hear. Okay. Okay. Absolutely. Well, I'm gonna put that on. You already told us this is going to be the most enjoyable basketball season, so you got to own that, Zach. I appreciate you. Okay, I'm with you. You know, when you get them feelings, we gotta roll with them for sure, man. But I appreciate you stepping in for a few minutes, just giving us a little bit of tad bit information that was going on down at Media Day. I know you guys going to have a lot of things to write about and talk about throughout the week when it comes to that. I just glad you was able to jump on here, just give the people just a little bit what's going on down there. And we're gonna talk to you again throughout this season for sure, Zach. We appreciate it, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That was Zach. I don't want to beat up his last name, but y'all see it on the screen. Chalavalala. No, that's my guy's beat reporter for Philly Sports Network, obviously, and the Metro Philly. He's down there at the Sixers Media Day, just giving us the news and notes and different things that's going on. Down there, like you said, the vibes are high. Daryl Morey feels good about this season, as they should. We all know. Second round, that's all we worried about. Get past that second round, point blank period. But we shall see. Season around the corner. I believe training camp starts next week. So we got a lot to look forward to. Football is in full effect. Baseball starts the playoffs next week, I believe, as well. Yeah, Sixers around the corner. It should be packed. It should be fun. And we're going to have a great time this sports season. I appreciate everyone stepping in. That's it for me. The time has been well spent. I appreciate you guys being here this long, even conversing with us. Like I said before, like, comment, and share. But please subscribe to all your friends, to your mama, to your daddy, to your uncle, to everybody about Open Gym and what we doing here at Philly Sports Network in Metro Philadelphia. Again, the number on the phone if you want to call in during the show, if you want to leave a message as well, we can react to it as well. But make sure you stay in contact with us and interact with us throughout this season. Again, I'm your boy AB, and this has been Open Gym. Yes, sir.